Hi everyone, and once again welcome back to Hobby World / World of Slotcast, depending on where you watch my videos. Today I'm going to talk a bit about model trees and specifically more about how you can make your own really inexpensive model trees. When you are running slot car tracks, you will probably know that model trees are really expensive, especially if you're going for the scale 1 to 24 or 1 to 32 trees, because they are really tall and that makes them a lot more expensive than the smaller ones. So I've been considering how I could make the price low and make my own trees that would still look good and make my track look awesome. Because I have always liked the idea of making a completely forest area where you have a lot of green forest trees and so on. And so I came up with a solution. I ended up designing this tree trunk in Blender. This is a 3D printable model, and the general idea here is that it is supportless. I often end up finding models myself on the internet that requires a lot of supports, and it doesn't look very good when you have to remove those things and things break and so on. So I ended up designing this model for a tree trunk that is supportless to print, and I actually made two other models. So I have three different types of tree models, all trunks here, that are really easy to print. These three in this size here took around 1.5 hours to print, and the larger trees over here takes around an hour a piece to print. So you can actually make a lot of these tree trunks in a day if you have a printer. And then we come to the part where we need to add some green to it, some leaves and so on. And the cheapest way to do this was actually going on Temu, where I found this product. It comes in two colors. This is the bright green, but there is also a darker green. I gave around €3 for a pack of 100 grams of this stuff, which is approximately enough to make 12 trees in this size area here, which is actually really nice and large trees, perfect for scale 1 to 32 slot car tracks. So it is really inexpensive. And the way I'm making these trees is that I take some common PVA glue. This is just wood glue. You can get that in a hardware store. I store my glue in these containers you can find in your kitchen. And I didn't found this in my kitchen. The wife would have been mad. I actually bought it for this purpose. But it is the ones you use in the kitchen. And when you're going to make the tree, you just take the tree trunk here. And another note here, something you can do, if it misprints or something like that, or if you want a different shape on the tree, you can just clip off some of the branches and form it like you want. There's no problem in that. And it doesn't matter if you've had a misprint. Here, my printer accidentally pulled off a couple of the branches. That was a shame, but it doesn't matter. I'll just get a tree that looks a bit different, and that will actually be more natural. So that's quite okay. But when you have your tree, you just dip it in the glue like this. This will of course not get glue on all of the tree. It will basically just get the glue on the edges, top here of the branches. And that is perfect because I do not want glue anywhere else. It just needs to be on the branches, because that is the place where this green stuff from Temu is going to attach itself to the tree. The stuff I bought on Temu is called moss, and just search for model tree moss, something like that, and you will probably find it. In my Patreon page, I have shared one of these trees in the welcome pack, and you can get all three of the models if you join my Patreon in this month. So just apply the glue here. I am terrible at multitasking, so sometimes I will break off talking while I'm working at stuff like this. So as you can see here, glue has been added to all of the edges of the branches, and now I'm just going to place my tree here somewhere it doesn't hit the table. This moss, you just pull out the amount you think you're going to need. Just get the glue a bit away here. I think this is a suitable amount. Drag a bit in it, make it a bit more loose. Remember, model trees are going to look natural, so it's quite okay if you just add it like this and gives it sort of like a completely random look. No need to overthink this way too much. Sometimes it actually looks best if you can see all of the branches behind the green stuff here, because that is how a tree actually looks. You have branches in there, sometimes hidden behind all of the green. This requires a bit more, so you just take a piece more here. Don't overdo it. Sometimes less is more. Like this. Make sure that you do not get any of this green stuff too long down on the tree. It needs to stay in the top area of the tree, and you can shape the tree a bit like I'm doing here to illustrate that it has branches up here and a bit up here and nothing in the middle. So do not overdo it, that will look terrible. But this looks really nice already. Don't mind all of that glue that's running down the branches here. It doesn't matter, PVA glue will dry up and get transparent when it dries, so no problem there. So just make sure that there's not any of the edges visible. So just attach a tiny bit of this moss, which seems to be made out of some sort of cloth. It doesn't matter that some of it is making these small strings that fall down and the edges here. It actually just looks a bit more natural. It looks really tree-ish. I don't know what to call that. But now I have a model tree. It didn't take that long. You can probably make 100 of these a day if you want. So really inexpensive, and they look good. I would suggest that when this has dried, because after this you will of course place it somewhere so it can dry. I'll say 24 hours is an appropriate time. After it has dried, I would definitely recommend that you add some varnish to it, some gloss varnish. That will help the green stuff, the moss up here, stay in place, and it will also protect the tree and make sure that the trunk, if you use it directly from the printer, that the trunk here gets a matte finish that will look more natural. I would recommend painting this up. You can really improve the overall look of this tree by painting the trunk with some standard acrylic paints, some model paints, so you can get the exact feel of it you like. But as you can see here, this actually looks really good. And if you take a look at it, all of the trees together here, it gives a really nice effect, and it will look amazing on a slot car track. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you can use it for something. Check out my Patreon, World of Slot Cars. I'll post a link down in the description. And as I said before, I will share one of these models in the welcome pack, and if you join the Patreon, you'll get all 3 models. When being part of my Patreon, you'll also receive other models during the month. I will sculpt people, characters and so on for the track, and scenery like the floodlight we can see here behind the trees. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day and happy racing everyone.